Less than a car length for the lead here in the Sprint X season finale at the Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix of Texas. Pat Long, as they come by that margin, officially under half a second, and it is close enough for him to start showing the nose to young Daniel Murad in the Mercedes from CRP Racing. Look how close at the exit of turn one, Cal.
Yeah, that Porsche has some pace right now. I think he's quicker than the Mercedes. The question is, how hard will he want to push to get those final couple of points here, looking at the big picture. He will not take any risk. He knows that Daniel Murad is feisty. Daniel Murad has really burst onto the GT racing scene this year with some tremendous performances, nonetheless, in that victory at VIR, along with his teammate, of course. But he held off Jerome Bleekemolen for the first half of that race in identical machinery. A lot of confidence right now.
It's kind of an interesting bit of irony here, too, because it was Murad, according to some sources, that came up inside the 9 McLaren, which got into the 58 and looped long. And these two guys are right in close concert again, and traffic up front that they're going to catch down into the turn 12 braking zone.
Obviously, young Daniel has to clear the way first. Can Pat do anything with it and time it and get a run on him? Well, it'll depend on how well this traffic is looking in their rearview mirror. Here comes Daniel Murad. Difficult position right here. Slices it down the inside and clears it. That's handy. That should gap him a little bit more of a Pat Long, give him some breathing room.
Pat's going to try and get both of those GTS machines, and does. Actually lost a lot less than I thought he was going to.
He did. Really nice job by Pat Long there. But didn't take any chances, just kept it really wide there so the other car would see him, and then sweep around the outside, keeping the pressure on Murad.
And it was a nice move as well from those two cars. One of them, the 019, that's Ari below, and recognizing that he was coming through, and the other one, the 09, is Sean Gibbons from the Racers Group. So Steve Cameron Racing and Racers Group drivers really paying close attention, and I'm sure have updates coming not just from Race Control but the team, that these guys are coming through, and this is a battle for the lead. Here's the number 24, will be their next car that they catch with Lars Viljoen. Look at this, back in Pro-Am, still half a car length between these two. Tim Pappas doing a superb job right now.
He's hanging on there. He's doing a great job. Team did a great job executing the pit stop, leapfrogged around the 14. Was Yamane from the pole 11 led to his pits from the start to his pit stop.
Boy, the two battles here for Pro and Pro-Am are mirroring each other. Mercedes under huge attack in both from a Porsche.
Great point.
At this point, kind of fun to watch what's unfolding here as this battling continues. And if you're liking this, that means you're a big fan, as we are, of the series. And if you want to know what's going on throughout the week, not just on race weekends, easy way to do it, social media. First, go to Pirelli World Challenge, the online site at world-challenge.com. Great video content there, links to all of the live webcasts of the races. Facebook, let's go to the Pirelli World Challenge Championship fan page. On Twitter, look for the handle at WC Racing. And for all things racing, take a moment and check out Motor Trend On Demand. That includes the archives of all the Pirelli World Challenge webcasts. You can start your free trial at motortrendondemand.com today. We're in a little bit of a layout here for our CBS Sports coverage, so we'll join you here on the webcast. James Safronis is getting anxious, and he is starting to show the nose just a little bit. And John Fogarty, after the drive-through for the short pit stop window, is finding some speed, and he is trying to get up here. And he's sitting now just behind Safronis. That's 11th. Safronis sits in 10th. Oh, Safronis as close as we've seen. He pops to the inside. Is he going to be able to get it done? Pappas thinking about the over-under here. Safronis floats wide. Pappas on the hammer in the Mercedes. Looks like he's going to be able to get right back and around. Boy, I'll tell you, Pappas stayed mega calm there under attack. That was really, really nice by Tim. Yeah, it was kind of a nice response, having lost the lead a couple of nights ago. So great job there. Just Safronis took it in super deep, couldn't hold the line, exceeded the track limits, and I think not just straggled for grip there coming off the corner, but I think he realized he was running afoul of the rules there and just gives the position back. Yeah, he certainly didn't fight it too hard when he came back on track, and I'm sure he's concerned. He does not want Fogarty to get in between him and give Pappas more breathing room here with 8 minutes now left in this race.
Dragon fighting back from a drive-through penalty, which cost you about 32 seconds as the drive-through time. The delta's probably, I'm guessing, about 25. You've still got to read up that part of the racetrack if you stay out, so it's actually 32 seconds on pit lane. But nonetheless, they were just a few hundred shy of that 60-second pit lane delta. Everyone pushing the margins now.
Boy, and Fogarty floating way wide on the exit of turn 1. Looks like he just caught the curb. And just kind of drew him wide. Oh, and the number 3 at Taylor. I don't know if that was just a spin or something's broken. Looks like he's got drive and is accelerating away.
He was very close to Brian Sellers last time across the stripe. Those two cars about 0.7 of a second between each other.
And now he was off far enough up in some of the junk that just gathers up on the edge of the track. So I'm sure those Pirelli P0s probably got a little bit of junk on him at this stage.
Curious to see if whether Ricky just had a moment by himself or whether that was a fight for position.
Welcome back, everybody. A look there at the number 43 Acura NSX from Real Time Racing in the hands of Ryan Eversley. And Cal, that car is carrying our iBox suspension cam. And this is a track that just the loads here put an awful lot of a premium on the suspension being completely dialed.
It really does, and particularly now this racetrack is a little bit bumpier, Greg, over the last couple of winters. Tremendous rainfall in this area. Not just talking about the storm of last week, of course, but it's really created a little bit of heaving. There's a few more bumps in the road, and that iBox suspension seems to be dealing with it nicely.
And is sitting right there in a very solid 6th spot. And the reason he's running in 6 is Ricky Taylor just had a spin while we were in break and has dropped back a couple of spots. And up front, Daniel Murad has been able to open the margin up just a little bit over Pat Long. It was down to well under half a second, and it's up over a second right now. Yeah,
I'm curious to see. I mean, we've still got 5 minutes plus to play with, but I just wonder if Pat Long just said, you know what, enough's enough. This is a big points weekend. Let's just settle in there, grab a podium, and be satisfied with that.
And Safronis through on the 54 of Pappas into the lead as we head to those final 5 minutes you just alluded to. And Safronis figuring out a way to get by after an absolutely brilliant defense and great drive by Tim Pappas.
Yeah, it's been a great little battle here. Two guys have really been a mainstay of this form of competition for a number of years. Always bring a great team and well-prepared cars to the game. Showcasing their talent right here. It's a great fight.
Well, and I'll tell you what, as I said a little bit earlier, for Safronis, who's one of the most experienced, more starts than...
Safronis is wide. Got into the bumps there, probably got into the ABS, couldn't get it turned. Change of position again, but he gets a run on Pappas now, and Fogarty's right there in the mix, copping a draft off the other Porsche.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It could be 3 abreast down in the braking zone. Here we go, and Safronis, wow, able to slip through nonetheless. Tucks right in behind Fogarty.
Nice racecraft there, because I think he was worried that Fogarty was going to open the door for Tim Pappas to follow the Red Dragon through.
Pappas trying to stay on the shoulder, can't get that to work, cuts down underneath. As I was going to say, with the immense experience, all the years that James has raced World Challenge, and he gets into the back of Fogarty. That slowed him up, and Pappas now comes by.
Unbelievable. I think James just expected John to be able to roll a bit of speed through that corner, but for whatever reason he didn't. James just misjudged it, and it catches him out badly. He loses that lead again.
In the 019, that's the BMW from Stephen Cameron Racing, showing a little smoke, trying to get out of the way, but I think he may... Oh, okay, James able to get through on him here as we're at 3.5 minutes to go. But so much has been going on, but I want to get in the fact that all these years and James has not been able to get a championship. He's had wins. This is huge. He'll get it if he finishes right here, but you know, he wants to go out with a win if he possibly can here, I would think. But he's also, I'm sure the guys on the pit wall are talking to him big time about, You know, if you could do it clean, fine, but no risk, no risk, no risk.
I'm sure he's stressing those guys out.
I would think so.
It's the trouble when you get a racer behind the wheel. Sometimes the big picture goes out of the window. And he is fighting hard for this victory.
And you know, after that pass that Pappas gave up the win on to James, that he is going to put up as stout a defense as he possibly can here to bring this one home.
Well, up front, Morad continues to lead. Last time across the stripe, but he's just under a second, but he's having a better lap right now than Pat Long, so he may extend that lead.
Oh, look at this coming up on the back of the 09 Aston Martin. Sean Gibbons right now is leading in the GTS Am category. He does a nice job. There's Mathieu Jaminet.
What a nice young man, so impressive. Asked him this lunchtime, do you know what you're doing next year? He said, no, that's Porsche's decision. And it's a big one because they'll be looking at his performances this year. Really, really impressive. A lot of speed.
Here comes Safronis. Late. Is it going to happen?
Ooh,
oh, and he gets into
him.
Pappas.
Oh, that was
both
ugly.
of them off.
Just got caught in no man's land there. He didn't commit to the inside. Switched back to try and follow him through the corner, but hadn't slowed it down enough. I think he's probably going to give the position back.
I think he is, absolutely. What a nice job. I mean, did not mean to do that, obviously.
He's just praying that there's no damage on that 54. I think by giving the position back, he may not get a penalty, otherwise he would. So if both cars are healthy, they can probably just continue to race to the flag.
Oh, and there, Pappas got held up a little bit by the Aston Martin, and James comes through. Pappas counter moves down to the inside. So close through this triple apex right. James floats wide.
Nice. This is awesome. What a race.
Fantastic. And the fact that he opened the door, let Pappas back through after the incident.
Are there smiles or frowns beneath those helmets right now? Curious to know.
Ooh, Pappas pushed a little wide there. Thought he might lose a little bit of momentum. White flag coming out for our leader, Murad, next time by, which means these two guys are going to have almost 2 laps to still go here.
It's good news for us.
It is. It is.
It seems like James is really fighting the car into the brake zones. Just can't get it quite slowed down enough as his teammate watches on.
Exactly.
Great to see that Mercedes is healthy despite the big cloud.
Absolutely,
down in turn 12.
And it was obvious James had the car was running. He could have just driven off. And he waited until Pappas went back by him, and then they both got after it here.
Yeah, he didn't wait long though before he attacked again, did he?
Yeah, as soon as the GTS Aston Martin held up Tim just a little bit, James pounced. He said, "Look, I gave it back to you, but game on now." And what a game it has been. Meanwhile, onto the front straight. Just coming in underneath, so one more lap to go. Daniel Murad, but look at the margin he's been able to open up. What a story Murad has been this year. Now, Cal, that margin up to 2.2 seconds.
Yeah, I just think with about 5 minutes to go, Pat Long just decided this is okay. This is okay. You cannot afford to throw it all away for a couple of bonus points, essentially.
Well, and here we go again. Same spot on the track. This time, James just a little bit more circumspect as he came up on the back. Watch what's going to happen. There's Jerome Bleekemolen. He's giving the thumbs up, going, boy, this is fierce stuff.
He loves his racing. He's a busy boy, Jerome, but he likes to win. Oh, James thought about it.
He did, but Tim has been watching that and has covered it relatively easily as well. Oh, this is such good stuff.
Yeah, just hitting his marks now. Just got to stay calm. I think Tim will have learned a lot the other night from that little bobble down in turn 12 that cost him a victory. Sure, that's been played over in his head a few times as to what he would have done differently.
And you know what? Just to give credit where credit is due, only 5 seconds behind Safronis comes the 16 of Shine.
Great performance by that duo of Halen and Shine. These two probably haven't done much for their lap times by fighting out as much as they have.
Exactly. Look at them looking up the hill. 1 to go. Bleekemolen really intense in this, as is that entire Black Swan crew. Here we go. James trying to short it here into the S's, gets to the inside, got up on that curb, and it unsettled him a little bit, and that gives Pappas a couple of lengths.
He's poking that Porsche nose in some scary spots. I don't think he's got the confidence under braking that he had earlier in this weekend, however, because every time he goes deep, he seems to lose the front end and can't get it slowed down. That's got to be playing in his head a little bit.
All right, tricky sequence here, turn 8. Got to Get out of 9
by
well.
Tim there.
Yeah, very precise.
James has got to run.
Down into 11. Meanwhile, here we go. Onto the front straight. Mercedes wins the Grand Prix of Texas at Circuit of the Americas. Pat Long in the Porsche comes through in second for Daniel Murad. An absolutely remarkable season continues, and we go back to an absolutely remarkable battle for the Pro-Am win and championship.
What will Safronis do here? Final run down into turn 12. He's made this move before and hasn't done it right. He flicks to the inside. Can he get it slowed down? Can Tim Pappas do the undercut? Safronis scrambling for grip, tries to get on the power, gets on the power early enough, holds the lead for now. Pappas to the outside.
That time, James was able to get it parked, wasn't he? But now Pappas, I think Pappas had to slow. Well, maybe not. I thought he slowed too much to try and get that counter move done. Oh,
Mercedes has the grip there. Can he tuck it to the inside again? He's out on the outside. He needs to get that Mercedes poked to the inside like he did a couple of laps ago. Can't make it happen.
That Mercedes has a grip and it's got torque. James protects.
He does. Slows them both up probably enough. Now he squirts on the accelerator hard. Got a gap.
Is it going to happen? Out of the last turn again. Safronis, last lap heroics, brings home the win for Global Motorsports Group and Porsche and the Pro-Am Championship. And Mathieu Jaminet, who was absolutely on form this weekend, loving it on top of the pit wall. But you know what? We have to give immense kudos and credit to Tim Pappas. That was a phenomenal battle once again. And for Mike Shine and Jan Halen coming up into a third place finish as well. Fantastic racing here at the Grand Prix of Texas. We're going to step away. When we come back, we will hear from our winners. And how about we... Yeah. Enrique Cisneros is celebrating. He is champion in the Am category of the Pirelli World Challenge Sprint X. Wow. What a season for Enrique. He's rotated through some co-drivers, but he's always done a great job. Into pit lane, heading toward victory circle. The number 2 CRP Racing de Vilbis MK, and carrying this weekend Service King Collision. Colors on the car, Daniel Murad. What a race he put on after taking over from Ryan Dial, who kept those guys right in the mix. He's climbing out of the car here, and interesting scenario here. Daniel Murad, I'm sure after that penalty he got yesterday, this feels like tremendous vindication. There's Nick Short giving him some congratulations. That's not Nick, that's just one of the team guys. Sorry about that. And we are ready to send it down to Jeff Lepper.